Or in Hawaiian, we say pono, which means balance, or ho'oponopono, means making what's right more right. Pono also means that effectiveness is the measure of truth. And how this technology really works, you felt it because the cells vibrate and resonate with the power of truth. And every cell is trying to move into its place of greatest, highest potential.
Hi, everyone. This is Saju Vaswani, and welcome to my podcast, Quest for Peace. Today, I am honored, grateful, and very pleased to welcome Dr. Sandra Rose Michael. Thank you so much, Dr. Michael. It is such an honor and pleasure to have you here, and I know how extremely busy you are. Thank you for being here with me.
Well, thanks for inviting me on your show. I think we just met recently in Dallas, right?
Yes, yes.
At the Changing Life and Destiny event.
Exactly. And that's the very first time I had met you. I met your invention before I met you. And I just wanted everyone to know that Dr. Sandra Rose Michael is the inventor of the amazing EE system, which Infinite Love, which is my nonprofit here in McAllen, has acquired. We started with our 12 system unit, and we just added another 12 more just 2 days ago.
Gosh,
On the full moon, on Monday.
The
Yes.
Scorpio, that pink flower moon, right?
Yes, yes. So
Congratulations, 24
Thank you.
units.
Yes.
Wow.
And I had no idea we're going to do that. When I first got the 12, I said maybe another year or two, but something just pushed and pulled at me and we figured it out and we got donations and we did everything and we got it. You're such an amazing woman. I was going through your bio and I said, I'm not going to read it all out because there's there's a lot. You're holistic medicine for 4 decades, lectured at the United Nations, MIT, the World Summit, Harvard Club, the Royal Society of Medicine, and it goes on and on and on. I mean, mic drop. Who are you?
Yeah, no, it's a lifetime passion of how do we bring healing to the world. So I've been teaching more than 45 years. I think I've lectured at about 20 different ministries of health and medical schools all over the world. But yeah, really our whole agenda is how do we heal the world? How do we bring healing to the world? So I've taught every aspect of holistic health and healing because that is it's just my life. It's my life passion. And so we created a technology then, the EE system. Long history before that, but this technology, the full system was 1997. So it's a long history, but it's been creating miracles 24/7 all over the world. And that's what we live for. We love miracles because the power that made the body heals the body. When the body has the right energy, it wants to heal anything and everything. It wants to function perfectly because that is our infinite innate intelligence of our divine design. And so it's really simply giving the body the ideal, optimal, energetic environment where the body can heal itself. But it's also, we meditated before we came on, and that's a very, very important aspect to everything because the actual research with the head of science for the Pentagon, literally, was a top brain researcher. And one of the things he found, besides nullifying all detrimental fields and transmuting them into beneficial forms of energy, a total transmutation of energy. And so some of the research, we found that you could go to a deeper meditational state than a Tibetan monk in 7 minutes because of the way it synchronizes and balances that right left brain hemisphere, so that we come from that place of inner peace, of inner balance, that reset from sympathetic or fright, flight, or fight, reacting where the body's stressed out by all the stressors, reacting because we're being bombarded 24/7 with the EMF, the ELF, the radiation, the microwaves, all this stuff, rather than staying stuck in a reaction mode. It's like we breathe and we go back into relaxing into that point of peace and power within us where we have all the energy to respond to all the stressors appropriately versus being stressed out. So when the body has the energy then to heal itself. It's literally raising millivoltage in the cells and things like that. One of the easiest ways for people to understand what we're talking about really is kind of the analogy of a cell phone charger, where just like you recharge your cell phone, you can recharge all of the cells of your body as quickly and easily as you recharge your cell phone. It's literally raising the cell membrane potential, raising the millivoltage, giving the body the energy, mitochondrial activity, which is your ATP production, your energy production. That's been measured to be quadrupled in an hour. I mean, so it's literally the energy to heal.
Yeah, I can totally attest to everything you just said, because in the short time that we've been open 13 years, but the short time that we've acquired the machines, the E system, from January to now, we're in almost in mid-May. We've seen a lot of change, a lot of people giving us testimonials. We've already had 2 cancer patients who have gone into remission. And so it's beautiful. And the meditation, we hold meditations here every Wednesday, and trust me, I've never gone so deep in my life. And I've been doing this for 13 years here, but I've been doing it for 30 years before Infinite Love. So this kind of depth and the meditation is just unbelievable. Everybody says, everyone who comes in here go, oh my God, where did I go? It was really deep.
Yeah, it's a deeper meditational state because you're in such a pristine energetic environment. And that's one of the greatest blessings of it is the ability to meditate and be still and know is what we say in biblically, be still and know, but it's really shut up and listen. You can ask, and it's like you're connected to the infinite innate intelligence. I tell people to breathe, use the energy to turn up the volume on your own inner knowing and let yourself know whatever God wants you to know. Relax into that place where be still and know. But the clearer the questions, the clearer the answers. And the meditational states and the group meditation is one of the highest uses of this technology because it is a broadcast. Let's create peace and prosperity on earth.
Wow. And how does that create peace and prosperity on earth? So you're saying that when you're meditating, I mean, when you're meditating, you're sending out this beautiful light out. But now with the E system,
Yeah, it literally is carrier waves. It's a broadcast and you're able to link up. It's like it's sending the messages out through the entire grid system around the planet, within the planet. It's like Earth acupuncture, but it's for the golden age of enlightenment. It's activating that light within you. And then as we radiate that light or as we radiate that love, it can flow out infinitely to touch the hearts of all beings to feel more loved. So literally creating those pathways of consciousness where we can broadcast our intentions through the DNA, which is also wireless transmission. And so you're actually working with your entire genetic code, entire genetic base, past and future, really through the DNA. That is our God code. And we have the access to the wisdom of the ancestors and the fulfillment of the prophecies and of all the prayers, all the promises, all the prophecies of all who have gone before us. Let's come from that point of wisdom. Yeah, I studied Sanskrit for 8 years, so we can talk about this, but we have now officially, according to the Vedic astrologers, left the Kali Yuga and are re-entering into that golden age or that Satya Yuga and this golden age of enlightenment. It's a time of what's called the great turning of the ages, the precession of the equinoxes. But we're in this time of the great turning, and all the cultures have prophesied this time. So we're very, very blessed to be able to be here at this time on the planet, but it's also very challenging. So you will be tested. Are you going to stay in love or not as the shift hits the fan? Literally, it's shift or get off the planet as the shift hits the fan because everything's being exposed. Love brings up everything unlike itself to heal. And there's a lot that needs healing and a lot of people needing healing right now. So I really want to thank you for holding that place.
not in the centers, because when I come into Infinite Love with this, maybe because we've been meditating there for so many years, now with the addition of the E system, that I mean, I forget where I am. I'm in a whole different world. There's nothing but love and peace, and everyone who walks in there is so beautiful. They just are their jaw drop when they walk in there and go, "Oh, what is this?" It's just so different from what you see in
We're
day to
creating
day.
heaven on earth, literally.
Exactly. Yes.
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 Or, yeah, so creation, let's create what we want, not what we don't want. And you're holding such a powerful place of peace and love, infinite love and light,
Yes.
that everybody
Thank you.
can feel it because the cells vibrate and resonate with that power of truth. And part of how our technology works, even scientifically, is through it's a fusion technology where we're colliding photons. That's your quantums of light. We're colliding photons and it's photonic fusion. And that's activating literally the light within us, literally activating the light at the core of our DNA, or it's what I like to call cellular enlightenment. And then as we radiate light, that's what affects and changes everything. That's the power of transformation.
So those of you who don't know the EE system, it's screens, and we have 24 screens, and there is light, there is code, and there is scalar energy that's created in the room, correct? So what you're saying, Sandra, is the light that is, when you're in the room and there's light that is being emitted, it's lighting you up inside. Is that what you are saying?
Yeah, literally, that's the pure science because that scalar wave is the infinity wave or the infinitely projected Mobius. But the easiest way to understand it is a scalar wave. And I like to see it as the dance of the DNA, and it's a wave of love. It's this overwhelming breathing in all God's love into your heart, and it flows out infinitely. That's your scalar wave. But that allows us spiraling into the double helix of the DNA itself to release anything that is not of core essence. Because the core of our DNA is literally, scientifically, the light from the stars. We are stardust. We are star beings. You could call that your star seed. We are sons and daughters of God. And we've been seated here for this great time to be the Christed beings, to be the golden beings, the sons and daughters of God with all of our memories and all of our powers. Because if we have access to unlimited power, infinite intelligence, unconditional love, what's the problem? But because we are powerful, infinite beings, and being in that state also of the technology, it's a trans-dimensional vehicle where it takes you
Explain that, please.
yeah, where you can transcend the regular dimensions. Scalar is nonlinear, non-Hertzian, fifth dimensional by design, at least, so you can transcend the dimensional reality. So it makes it very easy to access your interdimensional beingness, your transdimensional beingness, and access those different levels of consciousness.
That is amazing. But you also had mentioned that scalar wave, and I heard you on stage, scalar waves go outside of through the walls. And I think you all had tested with 4 systems that it went out 2.2 miles outside of where the
Right.
systems were.
From the intersection of the fields, that center point, from that intersection of the fields, it creates this torsion field that goes out 360 degrees, all directions. And that null zone effect is called an electromagnetic null zone effect because it's a true 0 point energy. If you can see the infinity, and there's that 0 point, which is, it's taking you to that point of balance as well, that 0 point energy. But it's a 0 point or a null zone effect that creates a nullification of detrimental and destructive fields for about 2.2 miles at least, every direction. Some of the scientists have corrected me and argued with me on that because I have one triple PhD spook scientist who goes, you say it goes out just 2.2 miles, but we've done the algorithms.
Does it go
And
more?
it's affecting at least 300, and I forget what he said, 300 and some miles every direction. We just want to heal the world. But and that's that null zone effect. And it's kind of like earth acupuncture. And so we're working with the grids, bringing back the balance, the healing energy to the earth. So I really want to thank you for hosting this powerful technology for transformation for this time, and works with the DNA to bring the DNA back to its original divine design, original code. But my thing wasn't just how do we create miracles for individuals? There's only so many people we could personally teach, touch, train. But how do we bring healing to the whole planet, the whole world? We need healthy communities. But the null zone goes out. So you're creating a healthier energy for the community. I've had people in Ohio go for 2 miles every direction. The corn's growing the highest they've ever seen it in their entire life. And they're in their 80s. things like that. We hear wonderful, wonderful stories about the trees that are flowering or producing fruit and all these things. We want a healthy planet, but the hyper healthy energy is actually in the system itself because the DNA is biophotonic, and the photonic energy does not go through the walls in the same way. The photons fill the room and you're literally breathing light. It's quantums of light, photons. So if you can imagine, you're breathing light to every cell and every part of your cell. You're all
That's so
parts of the
amazing.
universe because it's all within us. And so it's very powerful meditational states, but it's also very powerful healing states because the healing occurs when we're in deep delta and theta brain states. And that's where the body can repair, rejuvenate, regenerate, but also the innate intelligence of the body. You want people to close their eyes so they can internalize the energy, because if the eyes are open, 80% or more of the body's energy is being externalized. So you want to close the eyes, internalize the energy so the body can use it to repair and clean house. Because the first thing, because we're living in such a toxic soup now, that the first major thing is detox, 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 where the body then has the charge. It can discharge everything that does not belong. And the largest organ for elimination then is the skin. So that's where from the healing temples, the old purification rites, the detox baths becomes so important for people. So it's the salt bath. The old salt is the old purifier. It'll pull like a magnet because the toxins are a positive charge and the salt's a negative charge. And you do a nice hot salt bath, a pound of salt, 2 cups of salt is the basic bath. And that works with the charge in the body, works with the potassium sodium pump, and salt is also part of what we use for the conductivity in the body, the energy levels. So it's the most powerful thing you can do after being in the system is getting a nice hot salt bath, and not too hot, obviously, but a hot salt bath, because that's like not having to use the body's energy to do a fever. So that's the body's immune system being pumped up, supercharged to then be able to discharge or release anything and everything that the body that doesn't serve, that the body no longer needs. So that's the world's easiest detox. You also want to drink a lot of water. Obviously, make sure the bowels are moving. Use your triphala or your sacred herbs for make sure that everything is that you're letting go. Love is letting go, or we talk about letting that shift go. Rather than holding on to your old stuff or your old shift.
Yes.
Love is letting go. So you want to tell the body and thank the body for letting go. And it's with the breath, because that's our expiration, respiration. You're breathing light, breathing love, and letting go of anything and everything that no longer serves our greatest life, our greatest love. And that's important to do in the bath too, because that's how the body releases the breath and oneness with that breath of life. As you know, it's part of yoga as well.
Yes,
It's
it
very, very
is.
important.
So, Sandra, I also heard you talk about in one of the podcasts that I was listening to, you use salt and soda, baking soda and borax.
Yeah, I mean, it's the bath that we're recommending because of the time we're in. Minimally, you can use 2 cups of salt, and you
Okay.
can get that anywhere in the world. Go
Right.
to a restaurant and have them give you a good sized cup of salt. You can also do a salt scrub with that, or salt glow. It's like spa at home. But the bath that we're recommending is 2 cups salt, 2 cups baking soda, because that pulls radiation. And another thing, because everybody is dealing with extreme radiation poisoning. That's why so many people losing their hair and things like that, or skin issues, and everybody's dealing with thyroid issues or cancer. There's so many things that people are dealing with, and a lot of it is from extreme radiation poisoning, because we have even just the event of Fukushima alone was an extinction level event. But you have the Wi-Fi, the 6G, your cell phones, your smart meters, your smart cars. We're living in such a toxic soup. So that will help pull the radiation out of the body as well, radioactive isotopes. It'll help pull the graphene or the different synthetic biologies that have been created, such as those spike proteins and things that are just everywhere in our environment. We're living in such a toxic soup with all the toxins in the air, the food, the water. Let's Let's quit paying to poison our children. Let's make more intelligent, healthier choices. It doesn't make sense for us to be paying for poisons and poisoning ourselves. We're doing our own diseases to ourselves. So you've got to learn to make healthier choices. But the technology, the EE system, is about giving you the energy to change your mind, to change your diet, to change your life, give you the energy to change your communities, your family, and our whole world. How do we bring healing to the world? You have to have enough energy to heal yourself first. You literally become a beacon of light for others.
That's amazing. What do you tell those people who come into the E system and bring their phones or laptops and they say, well, I can't keep quiet and just sit there. I need to do something.
Not to waste their time.
Really?
Every
Okay.
moment is precious. Do they want to heal or not? Do they want to be part of healing for the world or not? It's a choice. Now, it is the safest place in the world to use a cell phone or a laptop. But again, if the eyes are open, they're externalizing the energy rather than learning to go within, which is so important for meditation. But you really want to encourage people to take that power nap. Every minute in there is healing, but so many people have been distracting themselves from their own health, their own healing. They say they want to be healthy, but they don't know how. And so you've got to educate people that if you really don't waste your time, don't waste your money, you want to take full advantage of every moment in here. And how you get that is going to the deep delta and theta brain states. Take a power nap where the body can recharge. But I also recommend that they focus on what they want, say all their prayers, focus on breathing light, breathing love through every cell. Thank the body for being so magnificent and so perfect. And the more you focus on the perfection, the more the perfection can manifest more perfectly. And focus on what you want to create for your life or your world or your relationships. But it all starts within us. So you've got to encourage people to go within and not distract themselves from their own healing.
Got it. Got it. So, but it does still help, even though they are doing whatever. It might help a little bit, not as much as it would help if they were completely
Not
in the
as
delta.
beneficial if they
Okay.
want to maximize the benefits. Because if they're not in the system, it's like you might as well be living in a microwave right now. And they've been microwaving themselves 24/7. So you want the body to be able to reboot, reset, and regenerate, literally, because we're working at the gene level. This is like gene level healing, the DNA level. And the actual research with NASA initially was that it was repairing the breaks in the DNA, the genetic damage, and lengthening telomeres. And then we do have research to that effect. I think maybe you met Dr. Jenny Shu, who did an epigenetic research study, but her own DNA, her own telomere testing was profound. After 6 months, she tested how many years? I mean, she tests more than 20 years younger than biologically than chronologically.
Wow. Wow.
And
That's
she
awesome.
started out at like 3 years younger, which was good. But she did a few tests, and so that lengthening of the telomeres and the improvement in biological age, in spite of all the accelerated aging that your cell phone and laptops and Wi-Fi creates. So the safest place in the world to use the technology or to use a cell phone or is in the system. But you don't want to be distracting yourself or others from being able to do the deep repair, rejuvenation, regeneration, the deep healing that we really need. And the healing means wholeness, means holiness. And it's about remembering the sacredness of our bodies and who we are and all that we are and all that we're here for. Remembering we have full access to unlimited power, infinite intelligence, unconditional love, should we choose to accept it. So you want to encourage people to really go into their inner healing, because behind all dis-ease, there's an emotional and spiritual basis. And that's what the toxins have stuck to, is the holding patterns that people have had in their breathing or the holding patterns in their lives, the way they've held on to ideas of how things should be. Like think you got a better idea than God and trying to control the unlimited. Bunch of shitty attitudes is what it is.
Shitty attitudes. I like that.
Well, the bulk of the word shoulder is should, but it's that holding patterns where people hold on to how God should or shouldn't be, or how they or their partner or their kids should or shouldn't be. And then that also, these spots relate to the holding patterns in the colon. So they're literally holding on to their old shitty stuff. And how many people do we have dealing with colon cancer and things like that? Yeah. And so we see miracles with the technology. That's got to be the best thing ever about having the technology, just being able to witness the miracles with so many people and children. And it's what we live for, to be able to witness that. I'll see a child that's been autistic and come out and start singing or talking, and some of these kids literally become like superstars. It's amazing, like superheroes. High function and brain function. They become like brilliant. We need to trigger these kids' genius and support them in that genius, but also trigger everybody's genius. We all have our own genius. So we want to trigger that brain synapses and for everything to function optimally. Why not live our greatest life? Our greatest, grandest love, no excuses.
Exactly.
No holding patterns, no withholds. So you're going to keep the love, let go of all the old shitty attitudes.
Don't
Let
shit on
shift go.
yourself.
Exactly. God
Don't
doesn't shit
shit
on
on yourself.
himself, and Goddess certainly doesn't.
Yes, exactly. So I know I've heard you say this before of autistic children have really been helped. And I've been reaching out to a lot of them that we know over here. The thing is, they feel that it's too good to be true, but it is. I said,
Well,
is
if you don't
it?
get in it, it doesn't work. If you
Exactly.
don't use it, it doesn't work. So
And you
what
have
have
seen
they
a
got to
lot.
lose? What do
Exactly.
they have to lose? There's nothing,
Exactly.
there's no detrimental effects. You just
Hmm.
want to support the detox and support the body in letting go of whatever created the dis-ease in the first place. That's where the baths are so important, the detox, because the body will literally start pushing out the heavy metals, particularly the aluminum or the mercury from the brain, from the tissues, whatever was created the issues. And the microcirculation is so enhanced, your mitochondrial activity. So now the body has the energy to heal and function optimally. And the microcirculations, like people that have had the neuropathies or recovery from stroke or heart issues, been off the charts because it's just healthy energy. And some of my doctors go, there are no contraindications. We've had people with, actually, the doctor that invented pacemakers used our technology.
Wow.
There are no
Okay.
contraindications. It's just healthy energy. But some of my doctors go, if you have DNA, get in it. And then for animals, they're much easier than humans because they don't have all the mental
Right.
stuff getting in their way. It's just healthy energy for everybody, and nothing touches the body, and it just supports you in the ideal state,
So
ideal brain states.
how long is it recommended to be in the system?
Well, you can never have too much good energy. Can't look too good, feel too good, be too healthy,
Right.
be too good. So every minute is precious. Actually, every minute is healing. I mean, we have testing that shows the difference in brain function in just 10 minutes, where the whole brain voltage is increased. So that's your brain function. It affects everything in your body. So even 10 minutes, we see dramatic, powerful shifts. Sometimes we've seen that 90% of the candida was gone in a half hour, or one little boy's sickle cell anemia was gone in 45 minutes. Totally transmutation and healing. So it's that kind of level of healing, but you want to give the body time to do its healing. I recommend a minimum of 2 hours, minimum of 2 hours. We found that in 1 hour, people didn't get to the deeper brain states where the deeper healing could occur. But you want to give the body time to use the energy and do everything it really wants to do with the energy. So I like to say a minimum of 2 hours, but especially and get in as often as you can. Ideally, every home should have one. The best is having it around your bed. Sleep,
Yes.
it's like sleeping in heaven. But ideally, your overnights are where the really real magic is. Sleeping in the system is the best. And so the overnights are really, really powerful, especially for the children. Especially for your kids with autism, we like to share what we call the Scalar slumber party.
Mhm.
and they love it. But you could also do your movie nights, group meditations, and then you could use that to go into your overnights and be breathing that light through every cell, literally, of the body, and giving every cell permission to function more perfectly and to be aligned. I mean, this is a key code of the technology. It's like being aligned by the light, with the light, as the light, and highest powers of love here on earth as it is in heaven through us now. Yeah, it's very healing energy.
So beautiful. What a beautiful technology that you have created. How did it all start, Sandra? I mean, you were not born with it, or was it something, how did it happen? Why did you decide?
I have to laugh because, yes, I came in with it.
You must have, yes, you must have come in with the
Where did it all
I mean,
start? It started when my parents met in engineering physics at Ohio State University. My mother, the nuclear physicist, my dad, the aerospace, electrical, mechanical, structural engineering. So I grew up, everything was engineering physics. So where did they go for their honeymoon? Two super nerds, two four-eyed nerds in the early phase. In fact, that's how my mother met my dad. Guys that make passes at girls that wear glasses. So she wasn't wearing her glasses, but she was blind as a bat in one eye, couldn't see out of the other. And she thought that my dad was her lab partner. And she was like the only woman in engineering physics anyway. So anyway, they went to Tesla's power plant for their honeymoon. Niagara Falls. So I was conceived in that energy of Tesla's power plant and grew up doing all of Tesla's experiments after my mother was fissioning plutonium at Battelle Labs the whole time she was pregnant with me, working on the bomb. So it was my fault that she couldn't be this great research scientist, but I remember all of it vividly. And I grew up doing all of Tesla's work, but also healing all the animals on the farm. But I came in with memories of my past lives and from the time I could talk, not just memories of in my past lives, but memories of the past times on this planet. Whether you believe in past lives or not, I don't care, because there have been a lot of past lives and past times on this planet. And it's all coded in our DNA. So it's all in our memories. And I specifically remembered that time of Atlantis. And I came in literally from the time I could talk, talking about the mad Atlantean scientists and the abuse of power and the destruction that that had created. And so I came in dealing with kind of mad Atlantean scientists as parents and grew up with grew up with that, levitating things. It was all the top secret government science experiments because my dad worked on Mach 3, he worked on stealth bombers, he was at Wright Pat Air Force Base all the time. It was all top secret. And my mother was a top secret scientist too. So I grew up doing all the Mensa mind training as well. I was reading encyclopedias cover to cover by third grade, but also I was so sensitive to energy. You know, all life is energy. I saw everything as engineering and physics. So you see the body as electrical, mechanical, structural engineering with energy. All life is energy. So I could hold my hands around the animals on the farm and watch how the energy goes through the circuits and experience what it was like. I'd project my awareness and look out through their eyes and see what it was like being in that experience of that consciousness, of that beingness. Be able to track things cell by cell through the body is part of my gift. So I grew up, I came in a natural healer. And my whole thing was, I came in, my mother working on the bomb, my dad doing stealth bombers, going, how do we heal all of this? Oh my God, that's what I'm here for. I just want to heal all of it. And so that's in 1971 is when I started in chiropractic. I was already doing meditation and all these different things because I came in with all that. But I was chiropractic, reflexology, nutrition, Ayurveda. I came in and started literally diving into studying all the nutritional things and all that from 1971, studying Rife frequencies, studying radionics, studying the effects of pyramids. That's your standing column waves. That's your scalar vortexes, your sacred geometries. I was taught in the state of Ohio in Latin, English, and math. So it's a little different how we think or how the brain works. So studied all that. And in 1978, I was really a hands-on healer, but in 1978, I built my first scalar healing light chamber in my spa I was the third spa in the nation to have salt cloves, herbal wraps, acupressure facials, and organic juice bar. All the healing modalities because we wanted to recreate the healing temples that I remember from the past times, like in Atlantis and things, the beautiful healing temples. So it's been a lifetime journey, and then we've got to educate people and teach people. But I was worked so much with healing that basically we love miracles and anything and everything would heal, and we put that into the technology of what it takes, the codes of instant healing, the codes of the kahuna. You know, I'm recognized as a kahuna, which is a master healer in
Yes.
the Hawaiian traditions.
Yes, I was going to ask
And
you about
huna,
that.
yeah, huna means the secret science of miracles. And so, besides being in the bloodline of Martin Luther and having the whole, Luther was a real protester anyway, Protestant. He was one that went up against the Catholic Church, and so I have that stubborn German bloodline along with the German engineering stuff. So that's how this technology came to be, where I had the whole concept and vision to create this technology that literally I felt I was asked to, by God, in meditation, asked to create a technology that could override and counter all the abuse of Tesla's work. I've worked with Tesla my whole life, and to override all the abuse of all of Tesla's work, all the scalar weaponry, all the HARP, all the different things, override it all with a higher power, the power of love. And so that's what I set out to do with programming computers to generate fields of consciousness to emulate my work for the miracles, for those codes of the miracles at the DNA and cell level, and to bring healing to the world. And literally, you were very, very blessed in that there were 700 centers created. The technology went all over the world. Initial clinicals were 2001. We started with research with NASA and the Test Society and different brain researchers and professors with the School of Mines and top scientists. But 2001, we did our first clinicals with a John Hopkins trained oncologist. And the software is one piece, but how we generate the fields is another. The black box technology is really designed to be an engine for generating fields. And it's like a Rolls Royce custom built field engine generator. So it's not the screens as much as it is those boxes. And then I'm using the screens for the photonic aspect and for the interface with the DNA. Looks like, just so people know, it looks like 12 strands of DNA on the screen. You've seen that,
The
right?
code. Yeah, I see the code. I see it. Is that what it is? I couldn't make it out and I didn't understand
Yeah.
what the code was.
It's like barcodes for the cells, but it's 12 strands of DNA because we want to bring all the DNA back to its original design and the highest potential. Because a lot of what's been done has been a hijacking of our DNA. And that goes all the way back to Atlantis. It's kind of an interesting history and story on this planet. And now we want to bring everything. It's all about alignment with true best and highest potential. And so it's about supporting everything in reorganization to higher levels of function, where the body or everything takes the energy and reorganizes to higher levels of function. And that's one of the aspects or gifts of Scalar. So that's one of the important pieces of it.
This is so amazing. Everything that you're telling me is getting me more excited about having it. And isn't it interesting how I was telling you before we started the recording that I go to find something different for infinite love, and I look at I went to a biohacking place, I look at everything, and I said, I don't know. And then somebody gives me a card and say, maybe you
And
should
we
try
weren't
them
even
out.
there.
And yes, you were not even there. And then we
But
went to
your
San Antonio.
affirmation, your intention, your sole purpose was already infinite love. And we call
Yes.
this infinite ways of love,
Exactly.
infinity
It's just
ways
so
of love.
perfect. Yes. And
Yeah.
our
So it was
logo
already
is an infinity sign. Yeah.
yes. So you
Yes.
understand that. That's
Yes.
our, yeah. And that's the interface with our DNA. That's what that double helix of the DNA. And like I said, literally our God code and the activation of the light that's within us.
As soon as we went to San Antonio to try it out, I said, this is it. I don't know what it is. We're getting it. I don't understand it. I don't know, but this is it, what we've been looking for. And there we are. And then 3 months later, I'm going, you know what? We need the other 12 and we have to do, I'm going, what is going on here? I guess it's something that needs to happen in this area because we're way down south, right at the bottom of Texas, right at the border. And I'm just so excited after you telling me all of this that we have it here. And it's such a blessing that we've been allowed to have this.
24 is more the geometry of a DNA, and it takes it another whole quantum, even though 12 works. And you saw miracles with that. May you see multitudinous miracles every which way as our planet moves into a higher state, literally greater light. But it's so cool that you knew, whether you understand the science or not, this works. I mean, yes, I work with the top spook hyper genius government scientists. For example, one of the ones I'm excited to work with, and I'm working on the bigger projects, is the professor of nuclear and quantum physics, who's actually an admiral.
Okay.
And with my presentations to him, he told his military friends, he told everybody, his associates, he told his colleagues that my explanations of the science and the physics were flawless. That's the level of science we can talk. However, who cares? I mean, it's in a sense, it is pure science. It is true science, but to me, it's spiritual science. It's more about the purpose, but also by the fruit you know, or the proof is in the pudding, or in Hawaiian, we say pono, which means balance, or ho'oponopono, means making what's right more right. Pono also means that effectiveness is the measure of truth. And how this technology really works, you felt it because the cells vibrate and resonate with the power of truth. And every cell is trying to move into its place of greatest, highest potential. And that's how you feel that little tingling going through the body. It's like a buzz. It's like a high. The brain's, it's opening up the neural pathways. It's like being on drugs with no drugs because it's opening up the neural pathways. And you've got such accelerated neurotransmitter capabilities because everything's firing. It's like everything's firing on platinum versus old broken down copper wiring or something.
Right.
Everything has the energy to heal. It's speaking of platinum, I got my toy out here.
Yeah, I
My
was going
new
to ask
toy.
you about that. In fact, I also wanted to know about all this jewelry, the beautiful jewelry that you
Yeah.
wear. And because people leave from here, they need something to take with them.
They want to take the energy with them so they can maintain the benefits. So this is our new hydrogen bottle. You can pull up all the benefits of hydrogen water, but this is hypercharged like we do the medallions and the bracelets. And we also have a shower filter that's highly effective because rather than breathing that chlorine gas that's in the tap water, you want to filter that water. And thank God that they're trying to get the fluoride out of our water. So many, it's so carcinogenic, but creating brittle bones, creating the reduction of IQ, especially in children. The fluoride caused more uptake of aluminum to the brain. So very related also to the Alzheimer's or the dementia issues. These are all things that boron is one of the things that pulls the fluoride out of the body. It's number one thing for detox of fluoride. So that's another reason that we put 1 cup of 20-multein borax into the bath water. But this hydrogen water, the way it works with the electrolysis to release the hydrogen gas, it has a platinum thing, so which is beneficial to the body versus others use cheaper metals and things. So we got best of, and then we hypercharged it. People can pull up that this is a really wonderful thing. People are loving them. You should be carrying it in your center because this way people can have their healing water. Hydration is everything. A lot of disease is from acute chronic dehydration. So this gets the water into the cells, but also the hydrogen. It also has a unique thing where it has a button on top here where you can breathe in the hydrogen gas to the brain. It goes to the brain much quicker. And so that's unique that a lot of bottles that are cheaper don't have. And this is a great thing for you to carry, to share with people. But the medallions and the bracelets, these are highly effective. We hear miracles from just the medallions and bracelets where we've sent medallions and bracelets to people that say somebody's in the hospital in a coma and they put a medallion on them and watched them come back to life. We get these stories all the time. Vision improvement, we hear all the time, people, the blind seeing. And so some people will use the medallions in an eye mask, but a vision improvement in the technology, you've probably heard a lot of stories of that yourself,
Yes,
right?
yes, I have. Yes, I know. And what is the science when you wear the pendant or a bracelet? It creates some kind of a field around you, or what exactly is happening?
Yeah, it's more about reminding the body of the original divine design to stay strong in that torsion field because that is our natural, like your red blood cells are this shape. But to maintain the integrity of the red blood cells, the circulation, maintain the integrity of the DNA, no matter what we're exposed to. Because radiation unzips the DNA, this reminds it to stay in integrity. But it's a way to maintain the benefits of being in the system on taking a piece of the technology with you, the hypercharging that we do. I mean, you can actually go on the website and there's testing by Dr. Glenn Ryan, who's a Stanford and Harvard biophysicist, and he's done research with lab research with DNA with the medallion, found a 28% increase in the electrical conductivity of the DNA itself. Now that's your cell signaling and circulation through all parts of the body, but it's your energetic matrix and encode, and it's encoding it. And it does like a cocoon with our energy field, our biofield is what it's called technically. And we're talking about photobiomodulation. This is a way to help with that photobiomodulation so that you stay strong in your light, literally stay strong no matter what we're exposed to. Because as we radiate light, nothing that is not of the light can affect us. So this reminds the red blood cells, reminds the DNA to stay in its divine design, its original integrity. Now, the other research he did with this, I mean, everybody knows crystals can be beneficial. Well, he tested crystal, that's the same as, and it was a 2% improvement for the body, 2%. I tell everybody to bring their supplements, bring their crystals, bring their medications into the system because it will scalar enhance them. It'll make medications even more biocompatible so they can work better and be less detrimental because of the way it affects the hydrogen atoms. That's part of it too. I love our how it works is how it affects the hydrogen atoms in the body, in the active hydrogen and active oxygen being released in a process called hydrobifurcation. But anyway, active hydrogen. So it's an active oxygen. Hydrogen's your ultimate antioxidant. And then you have your ultimate oxygen therapy. You've probably had people that came in on oxygen, but if they wear their pulse oximeter, they'll find that their oxygen goes to ideal levels just being in the room. Like you've got your ultimate oxygen therapy as well. So you've got these amazing benefits. So bring everything into the system. It was a 20% improvement, which is profound. That's high statistical significance as far as we want anything and everything in every healing modality. We want it to work better. They found our older hypercharger, it did an improvement of 37% in the benefits to the body. And our greatest, our advanced hypercharger, it's like going into Tesla's labs. Everybody wants to know it's proprietary, but it's like going into Tesla's labs, all kinds of things going on in there. I mean, lasers and all kinds of things. And they found a 51% improvement,
That's amazing. That's
which
amazing.
is
Yeah.
astounding. But that's also why we have such miracles with these. And they're very cost effective, easy. And you have the bracelets. Also, the medallion is stronger. It's a stronger, more solid field. And and people use them instead of aspirin, put them wherever there's an issue. Like put them in a leg brace, for example, or if there's kidney issues, put them on the kidneys, put them in your Spanx or something. There's ways to use them so many ways. But people feel the bracelets more though because they're on a pulse point and the blood is running through them. It's also very handy, for example, when you're out and you're having some water or wine, you can put the bracelet on the water bottle or on your wine glass or on the wine bottle, and it'll make it much smoother. You can literally feel it get heavier, but it gets much smoother because the reduction of surface tension of the water and the release of the active hydrogen. So it makes your wine or water more and more healing. So that's another simple way to use the bracelets. And they're very effective. And then, like that, we also have the shower filter, which is really, really good. And even people that have whole house filters say they can't believe the difference that that shower filter makes. It's less than $100 with 2 filters that last more than a year. We like cost effective things, how effective, how efficient, how well they can work, but we also want to be able to get healing to the world. So these are things that you can be supporting your customers. Everybody needs to be healthier.
Yes. And it's so funny. You must be reading my mind because every time I have a question, you're already starting to talk about it. And
Oh,
I'm
that's
saying,
good.
wow, she's reading my mind. So,
It does enhance intuitive capabilities, by the way.
right? Yes.
Uh-huh.
So somebody had asked me, being in the MRI machines and the CT scans, they make you drink all this stuff, right? Through the
The
IVs
contrast
or
mediums are
contrast.
very,
Yes.
very toxic. I do not recommend that anybody do this. Thermography is a much better testing, which shows where the inflammation is. A CT scan is a lethal dose of radiation. It will cause cancer. Mammograms, another prime example of tissue damage with radiation, will actually cause more cancer than it's helping with. But thermography, good thermography is a much better test. But I met the gentleman who developed MRIs, met a scientist, brilliant doctor scientist, and from that contrast medium, he is a very toxic metal that gave him, it was like ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, where his whole body shut down from it. So people don't realize how toxic that is. Or with the CT scan, they have him use radioactive iodine. That's not good. Radioactive iodine, no, that's not good at all. And then people wonder why they've got the cancers and they got the thyroid issues and the hair's falling out and all these things. There's much healthier ways to do things. So, and if you do an MRI or any of those things, make sure you do that salt bath afterwards to help pull the radiation out of the body. Also, don't recommend, absolutely do not recommend using microwave. It creates radiolytic isotopes. It destroys the nutrition in the food. You're getting radiation. They all leak. So you're getting radiation to the brain, or depending where it is, it could be to the radiation can bioconcentrate in, especially for men, in the testicles, in the prostate. For women, it tends to bioconcentrate in the breast tissue, or and besides the thyroid issues.
People who have cancer have been doing a lot of MRIs and CT scans just to check what's happening, what's going on. And so you're telling me it's contraindicated. You can get cancer from that. And so they asked me, what do I do? And then you already answered my question is salt baths as much as they can, right? And be in the E
Right.
system, that
Yeah,
being in the
and
system
use
works.
good iodine. Everybody requires good iodine. We're going to be working with Dr. Ed Group more with his Global Healing, globalhealing.com. He has best of best supplements that I recommend. Cancer is always related also to parasites or mold and fungal issues. That's why your ivermectin and hydroxychloroquine or fenbendazole are being so successful with cancer treatment. But you can also use your black seed oil, black walnut, your wormwood. These things are very, very effective. He has one product called Paratrex, excellent, or Oxy powder. I've known Dr. Ed Group more than 20 years. He was part of originally a Tesla research group. And he got Tesla's original formula when Tesla was a visionary and looked out and saw what people would need. His original formula for ozonated magnesium is called Oxy powder. And it releases oxygen through the entire intestinal tract, clear out all the old stuff that can be released, but oxygenating the entire intestinal tract. So that's one of the things I recommend. And we will be hypercharging these products. We're getting ready to bring those out
Beautiful.
for all the centers. In the meantime, people can go to globalhealing.com, and these are best of best of. His iodine, detoxidine is the best of. And it's like it's more of a Tesla formula as well, how he does it. He really does his research. And then for meditation, he has something that's very powerful,
For
and it's
meditation.
biophotonic gold.
Wow.
Yeah.
What exactly
Yes.
is that? Please explain.
So it's like the white gold powder, but biophotonic gold, you can spray it. And of course, that works with the pineal gland and the detox and the opening up. And our technology also works with that. We want people to get the visions, to be the visionaries, to get the visions and to be able to fulfill the visions, their mission, their purpose, but through that knowing of what's theirs to know. So it's very, very important because the fluoride and things have calcified the pineal gland and that shut down of the frontal lobes of the brain. We want to open that all back up. So very important for meditation. Another cool thing for meditation, obviously, you can put medallion. It's great,
On
like
it.
it's great for massage also as a massage. So we have a like a what is it called? Bagua? One of those
Washa.
from gua
Washa. Yeah.
part of feng
Washa.
shui, but a different part. But
Yeah.
yeah, wash off for moving lymphatics. Those are great. But you can also meditate, put the medallion on the third eye. Or the other thing that is really wonderful is we have these gold facial masks that you put on and meditate with because the gold will enhance that. And then besides being very healing and purifying for the skin, and everybody wants to look better. That's okay too. A way to have a facial that's actually very, very healing, but also ideal for meditation.
That's wonderful. So this is all from Global, or this is
Oh no, the gold masks are one of our products
your products?
that you
Okay.
can. I think they retail for $20 each, and you can use them a couple times if you're gentle with them. It's a gold
Well,
facial mask, and the story on that was somebody had gifted me a $350 gold facial in
okay.
Waikiki or in Honolulu. They gifted me a $350 gold facial. I had my son resource that and find it, and we hypercharge it and sell it for $20 each.
That's awesome. We need to get, I'm sure I'm going to go make sure I get all of this for my people for the center here.
Yeah.
That would be great.
Yes, everybody needs all the help they can get, all the support they can get, and
Exactly.
we want to get them things that really, really work.
Yes, yes, yes. And yeah, I'm very, really excited about all of this. Those of whoever's listening who's not in this area, they can go to eesystems.com and shop from there,
Yes,
correct?
eesystem.com.
Com. eesystem.com.
eesystem.com.
Yes, we
Yeah.
will put the link in the description for all of these different links that we've been talking about. And this is so amazing. I could sit here and talk to you for another couple of hours. It's so amazing that we met, and I'm so happy that you are here to talk to us. And I would like to extend an invitation to you to come to our center whenever you can. I know you're very busy, but whenever you can, we would be so honored to have you here to get the feeling. I mean, ask your higher self.
Yeah, I love going to all the centers and we just did that meeting. It was a wonderful meeting. I'm so glad you made it to Dallas
Yes.
and that
Yes,
was
that was
mostly
amazing.
practitioners.
Yes.
Yeah, that was all health practitioners.
Yes. So,
ChangeLifeDestiny.com. It was a phenomenal event. I was named Person of the Year last year at it.
how many
And
years have
this
you been
year,
going there?
this
How
was the third year.
I see.
Yeah, that was the second year when I was named Person of the Year. The first year we were named one of the top 100 companies changing healthcare
Nice.
globally. We'll also be doing a tour of Europe. We are all over the world. We're in 60 some countries. So we will be doing a program in Belgium, like 1,000 people or so. So September 6th and 7th in Belgium. Be Your Light.
What is it exactly? Be your light. It's a
Conference for people about the technology. They have Beam Center there, and we'll also have a center owner meeting at that as
okay.
well. And we'll
Yes.
also be doing a program in Madrid and Ibiza and also Athens.
You're
And
all over the
Crete,
world.
Liechtenstein is where we're going to do a very big conference. They have a 108 unit system. No,
I
108.
heard. Yes, that's a lot.
Yeah, it's
That's
like the
the perfect
mama.
number. Yes.
Yeah, the sacred number in the Sanskrit or the Vedic traditions, 108. And so he's doing more of those. But anyway, so they're having phenomenal results out there. But he wants to have a big conference there. So we're just working on dates because that'll be a phenomenal thing because people come easily to Liechtenstein from Germany, from France, from Italy, from Switzerland, and from Austria. They can all drive to Liechtenstein.
That is so
So,
great. 108.
yeah,
But
yeah.
speaking of, you brought up the Vedas. I'm sorry to keep you, but this one question that I really want to ask quickly. When we met, you did I hear you say that on a podcast or what, that you learned a lot from the Vedas?
The Vedas are absolutely the best books on physics on the planet as far as what you can study. And I studied a lot. I am asked to be teaching at a university in Mumbai because we are going to roll out the technology across India as well. They're putting a 108 unit in Mumbai as well, but I've been asked to teach the biophysics in Mumbai as well for the university there.
Well, so I'm glad I got you now, because as you grow and grow and grow, it's going to be hard to get a hold of you.
Yeah, maybe I can make it down to South Texas. We're going to be doing a lot more in Houston soon, so that's kind of south.
Yeah.
Maybe not as far
Yeah,
south as you.
yeah, we're a 6 or 7 hour, no, 6 hour drive from Houston
Ooh.
to McAllen. So we're
Yeah,
still all the way
with
down south.
Houston, we have the Vet USA project, which is in process of funding, and that will be a headquarter there in Houston for Vet USA, the 1100 wellness centers for our veterans, and so that project is in process of rolling out as well. So
Such
it's
amazing
exciting.
work. This is very
Yeah,
exciting.
just
And
want to
I,
heal the world, and
yes,
we're but we're also, it's very challenging, obviously, when all you want to do is heal the world. How many people have tried to stop us or steal it or
well,
attacked us?
we just keep
You know,
going because we have
yeah.
the right on our side, and we just keep marching forward,
It's a
right?
spiritual mission. I
It
mean, we
is.
have no other agenda. We're on a mission from God. Let's bring healing to the world. And then the only thing beyond love is more fully shared love. So I'm just going to invite everybody to share, share, share what you know, share the knowledge, share about the EE system. Thank you, Saju, for sharing the love and sharing the miracles there. And the more excited you are to share, the more grateful we are for the miracles, the more miracles we get to be grateful for, and the more that gets shared with the world. And we want to share our light and our
Thank you.
love.
Thank you. Thank you. And we will see you soon. Bye for now. Quest for Peace, a podcast about navigating outer chaos with inner harmony. Whether you're seeking solace in the midst of life's challenges, or simply curious about the profound connection between inner and outer peace, the Quest for Peace podcast is your guide on this transformative expedition.